What up?
Yo.
Welcome to Cool Ranch Corner episode 48. Got some interesting topics for you today. First off, how you doing this week, Chris? Anything interesting?
So the Fit Butters showed up and I tried them and I want to say right now that banana maple French toast is by far my favorite. Like 100%. It's so freaking good, dude.
That's good
And
to hear.
like I'm telling you next time I get some, I'm getting 4 tubs of it. 100%. And
Nice.
then at work they were giving out
Danny
like
D.
yeah, they were giving out some like award point things, and so I got a little TV for free. So I'm happy about
Nice.
that. I'm gonna have a monitor basically to use for um like my other computers and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
That's dope. Free is always great. What other Fit Butters flavors did you get? I don't remember.
There was the I think it was like Scotcheroo, and then there was the Snickerdoodle one, and then there was like the cookie dough one.
Like cookie dough is always like a generic flavor to me.
Yeah, and I mean, when I had it, I was like, oh yeah, I should have expected this. Like that makes sense.
Like a
But
like a
the
cookie dough protein bar almost.
yeah, it tasted like the cookies and cream like protein, and I was like,
Okay.
oh okay. Um, but the Scotcheroo was like a really surprising one. That one was really good.
That one is they have so many. They have like 20 flavors. What is Scotcheroo again?
I
I get
think
it
it
mixed up with
I
like
think it's like a it's supposed to be like a
rookie.
butterscotch, but it's also kind of yeah,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's
Like
like
a butterscotch brownie or something, right?
not quite a brownie, it's almost like brittle, like
Okay.
peanut brittle sort of. Um but yeah, like the texture on it was what really stuck out to me because normally it's like you get peanut butter and if it's creamy it's kind of like right, but this because it had a little bit of crunch to it, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like there's some complexity to this. It was
You
pretty nice.
you can tell it's high quality too,
Yeah.
which I like.
Yeah.
And you like you have to stir it like every time,
hmm
which is a good sign. Cause like I don't know if people realize, but like normal like not gonna call it any brands or anything like that, but like normal peanut butter, cheap peanut butter that you get from the store is like processed and formulated so that you don't have to stir it.
Yeah.
And that's not normal for like oil and stuff to do that. Like that's why they use like hydrogenated soybean oil and stuff like that, and that stuff is like 100% linked to like all kinds of health risks and stuff. Like it's not good. That's why I don't like regular Mountain Dew has that, and they like linked it to Alzheimer's or something. So I'm like, yeah, you don't drink regular Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Well, and are you sure that it's not in the zero sugar as well?
It's not because it has calories and stuff. Like it's definitely not.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's an oil.
Random thing. I don't understand why we don't just take juice and like carbonate it.
You can get carbonated juice.
Yeah, but why is that not like a more common thing? People want to put a bunch of crap in a can and be like, "Oh, hey, try this." Like, just put juice in there.
I don't know. This is just not a craze for it. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, I got a lot of stuff. First of all, whole family is sick with a cold. It is one of the gnarliest colds I've had in a while. I'm almost over it. Like I still feel my sinuses like full and stuff. I've been taking Sudafed, which is helping, but it's just been like like just all the crap coming out. But I'm through that. But yesterday it hit Bobby's. She finally got it. Baby Casey has it, and it's just like I feel so bad. She just like cries in the middle of the night because her nose is so congested she can't breathe. Theo has had a residual cough and like an ear infection for like a month. I swear, bro's always sick. These damn kids at school, they be like sneezing in each other's mouths and licking doorknobs and stuff. He just it's just how it is. And these parents are like, they a lot of these parents who work, both parents work or they're single parents. They're like, oh, my kid's diarrheaing everywhere and vomiting and stuff. Got to send them to school anyways. can't afford to can't afford to stay home, you know. So these kids go to school with like typhoid and shit.
Typhoid?
Okay, I'm exaggerating, but ridiculous,
Isn't
man.
that like a
These
disease they would
parents-
have? That was what they had on like the Oregon Trail,
That's
bro.
cradle, yeah. Bro showing up with Ebola.
The
My mom
Black
said I had to
Plague.
go to school. Straight up monkeypox. But anyways, if you guys did not hear, Pollo Loco played at the Minefield Film Festival here in Albuquerque, the annual festival, the big one, and we won 7 awards.
Ooh.
So that brought us to, we are at a total of 42 wins and 15 nominations. And we have a month left of the festival run, and then the film's going online. I'm working on acquiring some music rights to make sure that, you know, because otherwise we'd have like a copyright claim, and that might affect the views that the short film gets. So that's fun. Might have to cough up some money so that, you know, it has the best chances. But
That's pretty wild that you're at like almost 3 times as many wins as nominations.
yeah, a lot, like basically, you know, what is it? 75% of the things we got nominated for, we won. So
Yeah.
that's like a really good track record. Not only that, we've been selected by 38 film festivals total, which for a 26-minute short film is like unheard of. What I'm being told. I mean, it's gotten to the point where like some of the festivals here and like in the US have literally said like it is with great I don't know, regret that we have to inform you that your film was not selected. We received a record number of submissions this year. You know, like a lot of the festivals, those that they receive anywhere between like 5 to 10,000 films, and they can only select like 100. So the odds are insane, and the fact that we got selected by 38 is crazy. But they'll straight up just say like, you know, your film seems like it's, you know, already done a lot, so we had to choose, you know, like whose films. Like even one here, it was basically between my film and the 80s vampire one, and that would be a premiere, so they chose that one, which I totally understand. But then like I said, it'll be dropping on October 1st onto YouTube, and I'm going to promote the hell out of it. We need to get the views up, baby. I'm hoping we can get like 250,000 views. That's like my goal. If we can hit 250,000 views, like I just don't shut up about it until it gets there. Like I think we can go to producers and be like, look, you know, let's make a movie together. So watch it, share it, all that stuff when it comes out. More about that later. But as far as script writing update, after the podcast last week, I finished the first draft of my script.
Oh.
So for this whole week, I've been reading the script formatting section of, I'm not gonna grab it, the Screenwriter's Bible, and that was like 130 pages. And I will say this: if anybody who's listening to this is thinking about screenwriting, or you are a screenwriter, there are so many other screenwriters I've encountered throughout my time as a filmmaker who I'll talk about script writing with, and they're just like, yeah, I heard, you know, like you're not supposed to do this in the script. Like it's like a big no-no. And this book has clarified so many things and talked about what the rules are, when to break them, trends, and how like some things are acceptable that used to not be, and some things are not acceptable that used to be. And they update this book like every, you know, 5 years or something. This is like the 2022 edition, so it's pretty current. But I think it literally brought my screenwriting knowledge from, like, let's say if we're talking like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I was playing on medium, and I think we're up to the hard difficulty now. All right, I think we're there. Because it's just, I mean, so informative, and it's very, very to the point. It like holds your hand through the whole thing. I also learned that sitcom scripts are ridiculously different than normal screenplays. Like they're mostly dialogue. Every time a scene ends, you're supposed to do a page break and just go to the next page. So there's like, you'll find a sitcom script and it'll be like 40 pages, but if you were to remove all the blank space out, it's like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never had any interest in writing a sitcom, but I think if I wanted to, it would look professional now because I have the knowledge. Um, but yeah, enough of that nerdy stuff. Um, oh, crumble cookies. So we got crumble cookies yesterday, and if you have not seen
Uh-oh.
my video, I went to Crumble Cookies, the one that's at the Cottonwood Mall here in Albuquerque, and both of their kiosks were out of order. They just had like sticky notes on them that said like out of order with like a sad face. Their TV on the wall that shows the week's cookies was frozen. Um, I go to order the cookies and like literally I'm seeing the menu change from like this cookie's sold out to this one's not, to like almost all being sold out. And the guy's like explaining to me like, oh yeah, we're sold out of that one. He's like, we all we have is these two. And I'm like, okay, then I guess I'll get that one. And that one, he goes, oh, actually, no, we don't have that one. And I was like, damn, I literally was like, damn, man, you guys ain't got nothing. And I was like, how long is it gonna be till you have the shit? You know, like it's crumble cookies. I'm here for some crumble cookies. And you ain't got no crumble cookies. And so he's like, like 30 to 45 minutes. And I was like, damn, I need to be filming in 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm like rethinking my whole plan. Baby Casey's sick at home, and so like I told Bobby it's just gonna be a quick little trip, you know. And as I'm leaving, this kid who I've gotten contact with on TikTok because I felt bad. As I was walking out, and by the way, the crumble cookie was like packed. There was a lot of people, and like as I'm walking out of the crumble cookie store, there was somebody holding the door for me. And you know how when somebody holds the door for you and you're kind of like far away, you have to like
Yeah.
hurry up because like you feel awkward. And so that's what's happening. Somebody's holding the door for me. But then this kid who's been like staring at me the whole time is like, "Are you Danny Dorito?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I literally was just like, "Yeah," and like walked through the door thinking maybe he'll follow me out or whatever, and he didn't. And so I get this TikTok comment that's like, "You're an asshole." I tried to say hi at Crumble Cookies and dead ass you were rude and all this stuff. And so I commented and I was like, "Bro, somebody was holding the door and you asked if I was Danny Dorito and I said yeah. Like, sorry if that came off rude, but you know, like that you asked me and I said yeah." And so he's like, "Oh no, it's cool. My bad. I didn't mean to get in your way." And I'm like, "You weren't in my way. I was just trying to get out of that mess of a Crumble Cookie store." Because that was that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. So I drove 20 minutes to the other Crumble Cookies, right? It was nice. I am only going to that one from now on. They had everything except the one that is like the most popular. It was like the s'mores brownie one, and I didn't want to wait another 20 minutes. They had a kiosk that showed like like you're at the DMV, like who's next, and it showed I was bronze status, which I didn't even know was a thing, and like all this stuff, you know, and it was good. So problem solved, but that was one of the worst experiences with crumble cookies, man. I just,
Dude, you know,
they're a pain sometimes.
random thing, but you mentioned that TV that was like scrolling through all the stuff on the menu, right?
Hmm.
And I learned that that stuff's very, very easy to make. Like
Yeah.
we're messing with some of that stuff at work, and basically like you could just make the window with whatever programming language you want to use, and then you just save the window as an image, and then you have a screensaver that uses those images, and they'll update automatically. It's pretty cool. It's a random nerdy thing, I know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool
I,
stuff.
I mean, it's literally just like a TV turned sideways.
Yeah,
It's nothing crazy. You know,
yeah,
but this thing was busted looking.
yeah. It's a CRT.
I think it was, man.
There's
It,
no,
it
there's
was...
no way. There's no way, dude.
Anyways, on to the main topic for this week. Black Ops 6 beta started.
Do you want to talk about it first, or do you want me to?
I got on yesterday, did the movement training, which is really simple, honestly. And then I played a couple matches, got off, and then this morning, I played, I don't know, like 6 or 7 matches with the Discord because we did our gaming sessions for the Patreon, and we were having a blast. I was enjoying it. I'm like level 11, and I think right now the max is 20, and then next week it's supposed to go up to 34 or something. Um, but they did some kind of like update because they're gonna be like rotating maps or something. Like they're
Oh,
supposed to
thank
be
God
adding
they're
a
gonna
map.
rotate maps.
Yeah, because they said there was gonna be like what 7 maps in the beta, and there's only been 3 so
And
far.
I've only been playing two because everybody keeps voting for Derelict and like Skyline or whatever, and I'm like, dude,
Everybody loves Skyline.
yeah, I don't like
I like
Skyline.
Scud. I like
I I
honestly, they're
want to
fine.
I
They're all
want to
fine
play
maps.
I want to play Scud. Derelict is kind of fun if it's like hardpoint or whatever, but
Yeah.
TDM it sucks because you have people who are just sweating their balls off, and then Skyline it's like anywhere you go you're gonna get shot. I think it's a fine map, and I do like the little vent thing. But I'm tired of playing the same two maps. I want to try Scud, and everybody votes for the other maps. And it's I tried backing out and then going back in to a lobby, and like I tried like I think 5 times, and I was always on Derelict every
I haven't
single
ran
time.
into any bugs though, man.
Oh, I've crashed twice.
I have not crashed. I tried to find a match and it found a match and then it like kicked me out of it real quick. Like something happened with that server.
Hmm.
But I was immediately back in another one. Um, but I mean like gameplay wise, I haven't ran into any bugs. I'm surprised. But at
Um,
the same time, I'm not because it really does feel like just Cold War but more polished.
yeah, well, you know the big thing to me that stood out immediately was when you tack sprint, the little animation that plays, you could see your hand kind of go up.
Mhm.
Dude, I don't know why, but that makes such a huge difference for me. Like it just looks better because when you tack sprint in Modern Warfare, you're like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that looks so dumb. Whereas in this beta, it's like it kind of looks like you actually know how to run. I guess is the best way to put it.
How do you
And
feel about the time to kill? It's a
um,
little short.
yeah, I was so when I first started, I was like the first thing that popped in my head was it needs to be a little bit longer,
But I
and
got used to it.
I did get used to it, and I think it's supposed to be a little bit more fast paced, but
The
the
guns feel good.
yeah, well, I've been using the XM4 like most of my time playing.
Yeah,
I've been using that. I think it's like the Jackal PDW a little bit, and that one apparently is overpowered. Um, but I do want to try other guns.
I upgraded to Vault Edition, so I have like.
I am not doing that. I am not
Well,
doing
you look, you get 1,100 COD points.
You get some
the
gobble
battle
gun
pass,
or gobble gums or whatever.
gobble
Yeah.
gums, skins, all like I think it's worth $30 what they're giving you. Like the COD points plus the battle pass is like $20 right there already. But then
Wait,
you're getting like skins and
Did you
stuff.
say you get COD points for it?
Yeah, you get 1,100 COD points when the game comes out. You get 20 tier skips, and you get the battle pass. when it
Yeah,
drops.
maybe I should do it just so I can get the battle pass
Then you get those gobble gums, and you get like all of the guns, all of the blueprints they give you, you can use during I think
during the
all of
beta.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so using those in the beta has been fun
So
because they're all like OP.
I will say the movement is like the tagline that I've always heard is move like an action hero, right?
Sorry,
100%. Wait, what?
I'm trying to mute myself whenever I cough, but
No, you're good. It's 100% true. Like whenever I'm playing, it feels like I'm in an action movie. I straight up have a clip where I'm on Skyline and I run out of that hallway with the glass right next to the pool, and someone has a like one of those helicopters just flying overhead and starts shooting at me, and I dive over a ledge, spin, run inside, stim, and then kill like 3 dudes. I was like,
yeah.
holy crap! It's so
I,
fast paced. I love it.
I like the perk system. I like the perk system a lot.
Are there gonna
It
be
feels
more
like Black
perks?
Ops 2. I I I don't know.
I mean,
Like, because I don't know if you remember, but they added perks to like Modern Warfare 3 as the game went. They like added a few here and there.
yeah, I feel like
I like the wild cards and stuff are back. It's like Black Ops 2.
yeah, I do think there needs to be more perks though. 100%.
There might be. I think there's like what 5 in each category.
I think at a couple of them there's only like 4 or something like that. I
Uh,
don't know. I just know it feels like there's not a lot of variety.
Not all the score streaks are in there yet,
Right.
but the ones that are in there seem fine. Like they all
Um,
seem to work fine.
Can you level up the guns all the way in this beta?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure when just like they usually do, like none of this progress is going to carry over.
Yeah,
But
because it at least gives me something to work towards. Okay, you want to know my biggest complaint with the beta?
what?
It's that it's the beta and it's not the full game. Because straight up, dude, I feel like I want to play this game a lot, but the
Yeah,
progress is not gonna matter. I
I'm
want
having
to
fun.
I am having fun, but like in the back of my head, I'm like, this isn't gonna. I'm not getting anywhere with this. Like I want
I
to start
try
getting
not to do that.
camos.
I try not to do that.
I try not to do it as well, but it's just like
It's
I'm
about the
I'm
experience. It's
I'm
about
in,
having fun with friends.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it,
Yeah.
but I'm like I could be getting camos right now, and I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could say that about every beta. You know what I
I know.
mean?
That's why I
But
said my biggest complaint is that
I
it's a
think this
beta.
has
Yeah.
been my I think this has been my favorite beta experience that I can remember though. Like besides what I think you cut me off and like it's totally fine. It was like not a big deal. But the what I was gonna say is that they pushed that update because people are like, oh, they're gonna rotate in a new map, and then none of our games were working. It was saying like, oh, the person who's you're trying to invite has a different version, but we had all just updated. I verified my game files and that took forever because it is like 232 gigs right now,
Call of
which is
Duty
pretty
HQ. Yeah.
yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do is when Black Ops comes out, I'm going to get rid of all the Modern Warfare stuff and just have Warzone and Black Ops 6 stuff. Because
Yeah.
goddamn,
Well,
somebody told me they have 300
so
this morning. And I was
yeah,
like, yeah, you got Modern Warfare 2 shit on there still.
um, did you see like the entire map selection
It's
for?
coming out.
No, I'm talking
Like with
like for the full game.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So
16 maps.
Sandhouse.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's gonna play because it's
I mean
Nuketown,
it's
but it's like different, and I don't
I
fully.
like it.
I
I'm
like
glad that
it.
you know the regular Nuketown's coming. They always do that. It's gonna be like a Christmas thing, you know.
I just don't know. I want to see more than. I hope that they have it in the beta so I can actually see what it's like. But then I
I
heard that there's going to be a smaller Warzone map that takes place on the testing range for Nuketown.
yeah, it's called like Sector 99 or some
Yeah,
bullshit.
which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. I really don't give a shit about Warzone. Honestly, I haven't cared since the original Verdansk
But so Verdansk is coming back, and then
in 2025, which could mean anything.
true, but also they're gonna have mastery camos. So if you want to grind for that for Warzone, you can. I don't know what the challenges are gonna be for it, but that's gonna be in the
I
game.
All I care about is the game's gonna come out. I'm gonna play through the campaign, then probably uninstall the campaign because of the storage, and then I'm going to play zombies and multiplayer, and occasionally Warzone. But I'm really in it for the zombies and the multiplayer. The campaign I'm sure is gonna be like 8 hours or something. You know, it'll be short and sweet. I feel like that's been the strategy lately. I think it'll feel better than Modern Warfare 3 though. Modern Warfare 3's campaign was obviously like shit out and it was supposed to be DLC.
Yeah.
But I mean the stuff that they showed of the campaign, it looks fun. It looks cinematic, and I thought it was cool that you like the one guy threw a knife and then in slow mo you could like steer the knife. Like
Yeah.
that's fun.
Um,
That's like old Call of Duty. Like remember that reminds me of like OG Modern Warfare 2
yeah.
or Modern Warfare 3 when you kill Shepard.
Um, was that
Or that
Modern
might
Warfare
have been
3?
2.
That was
That was
2, I
2.
think.
That was 2,
Um,
yeah.
but so fun fact, I did not do the movement training, so I went into it blind, right? And the way that I will explain the movement is that it's like if Black Ops 3 didn't have jetpacks and the sliding was a little bit more fine-tuned, that's kind of what this is like because you can slide in
Yeah.
any direction and it feels very natural once you start like getting used to it because
Yeah.
you when you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I can slide in this direction, like you end up doing it just because you're like, oh well, I need to go in this direction, I'm gonna slide that way. And I think like I want to say Titanfall let you do that or something. There's some game where I've played
Yeah.
it where it's felt like that before, and I'm like, no, this
Um
feels familiar. And so I think they did a really good job on the movement.
Couple things that I noticed is like derelict. You can get on everything.
Yeah.
Like you can climb up to everything, which I really like because it doesn't feel like you would think like when you go back to like old Call of Duty days where you couldn't get on top of roofs that you weren't supposed to and stuff.
Yeah.
The idea that somebody could get on top of something felt like it was a bad thing, but in this it feels right for some reason. And I think it's because of the movement and how fast paced it is, and like it makes for really interesting gameplay when like spawn points flip, because if you're in an area and all of a sudden people start spawning next to you, you can get the fuck out of there quick. Um, and I think when it comes to the movement, two things that I really like is being able to sprint backwards.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause you can get out of an area while also calling out, like, hey, like there's a guy over there, blah blah. I also like being able to like look around 360 when you're prone. That is so dope.
Yeah, dude. Because and the thing is, so I'm so used to being able to just like someone tries to drop shot me, and so I just go behind them and shoot them, and now they're like, and I'm like, no, no.
Yeah.
So
I think the movement's a W.
it's definitely changed the flow of gameplay, in a good way, and then like even the equipment that you can use, like stims feel great. Like
Everything feels great.
I love the stims, and then so they have like a thermo grenade or something like that where it like releases a cloud of gas then blows up. That one pretty solid. Like I think it's unique. It's not just a Molotov and it's not just a thermite. It's like a different kind of fire grenade, and it's cool.
Yeah.
But the Semtex, I don't know what is about the Semtex in this game, but it feels really strong.
I'm a standard frag guy.
Loser.
No, I like
Loser.
dude, being able to time when it explodes is so clutch, man.
I do not care because I can throw a Semtex at somebody and it gets stuck to them, and I can be like, haha, you suck, and that's a good feeling
Yeah,
for me.
what happens when you throw your Semtex and you miss, and now it does nothing. Whereas with the frag,
Well, that's my point. In this beta, it feels like I'll throw a Semtex, I'll miss, and they'll still die.
I that has not been my experience, but okay.
Dude, I've been demolishing people lately.
No, I like I said, I'm really happy with the beta. I'm impressed with the lack of bugs. We'll see if it holds up when everybody and their mother has access next week.
Yeah.
But I really hope that whatever the skill-based matchmaking is right now, I hope that's what we get in the final game, because I feel like my games have been totally naturally fun. But Cold War, it was like you could feel them tuning it within the first couple of months, and it went from like being like that to like I would play like 1 or 2 matches and have fun, and then play like 5 matches in a row of just like these guys are sweaty. They get into your spawn and it's just not fun. You know what I mean? Like the skill-based matchmaking is what turned me off of Cold War. And I really hope that's not going to be the case here, because I really like the gameplay. It feels like a more polished Cold War, and I mean it was, I enjoyed it enough where I was like, fuck it, Vault Edition, here we go. So
I just want more maps. That's it.
yeah. And I mean, it's a beta. You gotta remember, they honestly
Yeah.
could have just gave us 2 maps and
Yeah, no, and I
giving
do
us like 7 throughout the whole thing. So
I do get that. I'm just saying, like, for all the people that I keep getting into lobbies with, stop picking freaking Derelict and Skyline. Let me play Scud. I haven't played it yet, okay? Jesus
they're
Christ.
all fine. I will say I really like that the maps are like classic 3 lane again. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I will say that it doesn't play like a classic 3 lane map at the same time though, because you're able to go pretty much over any wall, up on top of anything. But it's still like
I love
you know.
just being able to like dive over ledges and then like just spin in midair. Because I've been doing that so much. I saw a clip where, you know that scene from Revenge of the Sith where Emperor Palpatine like spins in midair? I saw somebody do that in the game. I was like, holy crap, you can do that? And I actually think I replicated it at one point, and it's I see why it happened. It's like you can just move in midair to shoot somebody that you saw for like a split second. Like if you see them, you can aim at them. You'll if you know where they're at,
Yeah.
you can still target them even if you're in midair.
I think with the time to kill being shorter, I'm finding myself reloading less. Have you
Yeah,
noticed that?
yeah.
So
So I and
I feel
and
like I can at least get 2 kills with a 30 round mag, no problem.
with an XM4, which I think is 45, I think.
I'm using it right now and it has 30. It starts
Oh,
with
I think
30.
I think I have my extended mag on it. Um,
I don't know if I want extended mag or fast mag.
I want the flip mag.
Flip mag. Is
Yeah.
that fast mag?
No.
Or is it? They
No.
call it a bunch of nonsense
So
now.
they have like they have extended mag, and then they have fast mag, and then they have the flip mag, which is like a mix between the two where you can flip it,
Drum mag.
and it's like it's fast, but then um like I think it's like faster than a fast mag.
Because I always liked how fast mag sounded. You'd be like, but then the second time, it's like a normal
Well,
reload.
that's the flip mag
Yeah.
in this, which I think that's how that works. I don't know. I have to. I played
Yeah.
it. I played it for a little bit last night, and then
We're gonna play it more after this. So
yeah. I
excited.
I just hope that it didn't break my game. This update that happened. We'll see.
I'm hoping it's all fixed by the time we get back on. That's what we were all hoping in the Discord. But we had 6 people in there. We had a full team. It was great. It was great. There was I can't remember your name off the top of my head because you guys have different names from your Patreon and the Discord. But they were playing on PC too, so I don't know why they're having so many issues. But their game was just not. They got to play like one match and they're like, yeah, my shit's broken. So hopefully they get to play some more. But and everybody was so chill, man. I really love doing the Discord game sessions. And that is a perfect segue into our ad break. Guys, join the Patreon for as little as $1 a month. If you want to game with us, it's $3. After that, there's all kinds of different benefits and goodies, including giveaways, producer credits, where I will literally add you as a producer on IMDb. So like, it's not just like a BS like, you're a producer. Like literally, like if some Hollywood person looks at IMDb, they're like, oh wow, yeah, you got some producers for the podcast. Like, it's legit. I got everybody on there. I add the newest episodes every Tuesday, so it's like an ongoing thing. And then obviously use G Fuel code Danny D. We got 2 new flavors: a Castlevania flavor that's like a guava pineapple, and then we got the Rubik's Cube flavor, which is a Tutti Frutti, and I'm really excited about that because every time I have something Tutti Frutti flavored, it's delicious.
What is
So-
Tutti Frutti?
It's just like a fruit medley, but it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's the best kind of fruit medley. So yeah, use G Fuel code Danny D. I think you can still get. I think that time passed, but 20% off the new flavors. I feel like a lot of people are like, new flavors. I just spent all my money during the BOGO. But these are both pre-orders. I think the Castlevania one drops in October, and the Rubik's Cube one drops in December. So use code DannyD for 20% off, 10% off merch, 30% off anytime a new flavor drops. Just remember, if a new flavor drops, you get 30% off for like the first 3 days with code DannyD. And then our new partnership, Bit Butters. Chris was just talking about it at the beginning of the podcast. I have like 10 flavors showing up. So I can't wait to try a bunch.
You
but
said
I
there's
have
new
tried,
ones that just came out, right?
Yeah, they just dropped pumpkin pie, which has marshmallows in it. And they dropped caramel apple, which I'm excited about. But I just tried Cocoa Pebbles yesterday, and it was or day before yesterday. And if you want a chocolate flavor, it is perfect. I think we gave this an 8.5. Fruity Pebbles, we gave a 9 out of 10, and I it's my favorite flavor right now. But there's so many more to. I feel like I'm really gonna like the one you were talking about, the maple banana French toast one.
Yeah.
Monster Cookie. They did clarify with me in my TikTok comments, there are actual M&Ms in here. So if you like M&Ms, this is like, it's a peanut butter, and it's like peanut butter with M&Ms in it. It's delicious. And I think it also has little pieces of cookie in it, but it's Monster Cookie. That one's solid. I think we gave that a 7.5. I'm gonna be trying the Cookie Monster Madness today, which is like cookies and cream, so I'm excited about that. Um, but use code Danny D for 10% off. I get like a 20% commission, so that's a great way to support podcasts and our content. They have like 20 flavors to choose from. There's something for everybody, and it's high quality stuff. And for 15 bucks, you're getting 14 servings and 10% off. Basically makes it like $1 a serving, and it's like eating a protein bar or a granola bar. It is a good little thing to put on pancakes, toast, fruit, or just eat it with a
I
spoon
think
like
yeah,
I do a lot.
it shows up on the tub like goes well with, and then it shows little pictures, right? So
Yeah, great stuff. I'm really happy with the product. That's why I partnered with them, and can't recommend them enough. A bunch of the guys in the Discord have been raving about it too. So get you some. So those 4 flavors I stand by. Don't know about the other ones yet. Can't wait to try the banana French toast
that
one
one's
myself.
really good, dude. It's
I think that'll
really
be a
good.
10 out of 10 from what it sounds like. And then I did do a little special giveaway this week for the Discord.
Heck yeah.
Um, a little backstory for this: we got the Drive Blu-ray, one of my favorite movies, one of the movies that honestly made me want to make movies. My wife got this for me for like my 17th birthday, I think. Kind of cool. So this has been in my hands for a long time, and it's I think I just made a video about how everybody considers this a good movie. So
Didn't some I saw the video about it. Someone was like, "Oh, well, that movie sucked," and I was like,
yeah,
"Whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa!"
yeah. I was like, it's one thing to say you don't like it, but then I pulled up IMDb, 7.8 out of 10, with like almost 750,000 ratings, which is a ton for
Yeah,
IMDb. So everybody on IMDb loves it. And then Rotten Tomatoes, it has like a 93% critic score and a 78% audience score, which is literally in line with IMDb. And then Letterboxd has almost 2 million views, almost 2 million watches, and they gave it a 3.8, or no, a 3.9, which is also a 7.8 out of 10. So if you want to watch a 7.8 out of 10 movie, check out Drive. The winner of this is Sad Cisco.
yes, sir.
So Sad Cisco, I'll be reaching out to you within the next 24 hours to get this sent to you. Hope you enjoy it. But the reason why I'm giving it away is because I still have not watched it yet, but have you seen this, Chris?
Yes,
I got the 4K Steelbook, and it is so sick, man. I love it. This movie has not been available in 4K until this month. So I have only seen it in 1080p because I did not see it in theaters. And so I'm about to see it in 4K. I might wait for Jorge to get back because I think he's in Las Vegas right now, but he hasn't seen it. So I think I'll watch it with him.
He
I
hasn't
get
seen
to be
Drive
exposed.
before.
No. I showed it to Giancarlo, and he immediately understood what I like about filmmaking and like my style.
Mm.
He was like, okay, I get what kind of stuff you like. It's very emotionally driven. It's a very emotionally driven film, but also very stylistic and violent. So, one of my favorite films of all time. I need to get a poster. But congratulations, Sad Cisco. All right, moving on to our Patreon questions. We might not get through all of them because there is a shit ton this week. Because I told people, hey, like, only one person put a question. Come on, give me some questions. So, starting off with Tommy, your dream concert. Who would you pick for the opener and the main event? I already have answers, so I'll go first, I guess. I would love to see Blink 182 open for Linkin Park, but obviously, you know, if this was, if I could choose whatever I want, then like, you know, Chester Bennington would still be alive. But that would be like my dream concert. Yeah, that would be great. Or like Angels and Airwaves. I love Angels and Airwaves.
So I've got a weird one. Okay.
Okay.
I would 100% go back in time and see like the
I didn't even
Beatles,
think about that.
the Beatles and the Beach Boys in
That'd be a
concert.
fun one.
That'd be cool. I have a coworker who actually he's like, yeah, no, I saw. But he's I think he's in like his late.
Surfing USA.
He's in his late. He's in his late 60s. He's like, yeah, I actually saw the Beach Boys like in concert, and I was like, holy
That's so
crap.
dope.
So, I was like, yeah, I think that's as soon as he told me that, I was like, I wish I could see that. So that's probably what I would do is Beach Boys and the Beatles.
You know who I saw before they were famous? The people who was it Glass Animals. They do like
Oh yeah.
um the, sometimes all I think about is
Hmm.
you. That one.
Hmm.
The Heat Waves song. Heat Waves keep freaking me. I saw them when they were like they had like one album, and watching them play the song. If people know Glass Animals, the song "Gooey" live was so sick. A good one. Yeah, I really like that band. But I don't know. Random side note. Anyways, that's who we would pick. Great pick, by the way, Chris. I didn't even think like that. So, but I mean, getting to see Linkin Park live with Chester is one thing that I'm sad I'll never get to do. I always wanted to go to a concert with Dad, you know, because he
Hmm.
introduced us to him. Diego Cantu says, "Are you planning on having another kid? If so, a boy or a girl?" So, a couple things about this. I'm pretty sure this is directed just towards me, because I don't think Chris is planning on having any kids. But I am
Yeah.
not planning on having any more kids. I'm actually planning on getting a vasectomy soon, so that's gonna be fun. Um, but one thing that I might be educating some people apparently because of the way this question's worded. But you don't get to choose if it's a boy or a girl. It's just random. Like you just like you don't. Oh yeah, we're gonna have
Unless
a boy.
unless you're in China.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You're like, what does that mean?
You don't go to your significant other. You don't like. I
It's
don't
gonna
go
be
to
a
my
boy
wife and
this
go,
time.
all right, you ready? Let's make a boy. Let's make a girl. You know, it's not how it works. It's random. Um, but yeah, no, my wife and I both agreed that we would 100% be done if we had a girl, and we did. So I'm done. I do not want any more kids. I am happy spoiling the two we have. Um, Louis says, Danny, what would you do? What do you do when you have writer's block? And then there's the second part of the question for Chris, but I'll answer mine real quick. Really easy. I think there's different kinds of writer's block. There is I don't feel like writing right now, and I think a lot of people call it writer's block, but it's really just you feel like procrastinating and being a lazy piece of shit, but you call it writer's block because it makes you feel better. I have never I've never felt I've always identified like, okay, am I having writer's block, like literally like the ideas aren't coming, or am I just feeling lazy? And if I'm feeling lazy, I'll like tell myself, okay, I'm just gonna do one page, and usually it gets me through it, and I'll end up writing more because I get sucked in.
Hmm.
And I think that has to do with my work ethic as well, you know. But if I genuinely feel like I'm trying to problem solve with like story or plot, if I'm really feeling stuck, uh, going for a walk, um, taking a shower. Just I don't know why showers are like great for ideas, but every writer says that. Like take a hot shower, go for a walk, and then the other thing that I found, which is really cool because you can kind of like target how you do it, but watch a couple of movies. Like if I'm like writing a crime film and I'm like I don't know how I want to do this or execute this, watch a couple movies. I'll usually watch like one that I have seen that inspires me, and then I'll watch one that I haven't seen, and they both teach me something different or give me a different idea, and it usually helps me solve whatever problem I'm having. But I really think when it comes to being creative and like storytelling and stuff like that, I've never really gotten like writer's block where it's like cliche like in a movie where some guy's trying to sit down and write a novel and he can't get past the first sentence. It's never happened to me.
The
I think if I got tasked with like, hey, you're gonna write a remake or a sequel to this IP, that's where it might happen, you know. But
hmm
I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. Uh, so I think that answered your question. But next is Chris. What's your dream job?
I think working with robots would be pretty cool because like seeing it go from something where it's like barely moving to like making it move like a human would be it's almost like creating life. It's kind of cool. But I wouldn't want just I think I would want something like Chappie where you like actually like make it think on its own.
Happy.
That I think that's really separates like
I need
Just
to rewatch that.
I do too. That's what separates like making a robot for like manufacturing from like making a robot that's supposed to be like for the future, you know? And
Yeah.
I think that's what I would want to do.
Cool. Think that answered it. Aiden asks, since we got the COD beta, what's your favorite COD and what's the most underrated COD? You want to go first? Kind of talked
We
about this
talked about it
recently,
before.
but
I would say as far as I'll answer the underrated because we've talked about our favorite. Underrated, I think World War II,
yeah,
which like I know a lot of people they're like, oh I forgot that game even existed. It's like, well, yeah, because it wasn't amazing, but like I think the gunplay in that game was very solid,
good
and
pick.
the style of the zombies was good up until like the second DLC or something. If they had stuck with the style from that first map for the entire DLC season, zombies would have been great. I mean, they had their own version of like the Wonder Waff, where it was
Yeah,
it was like a more like I guess almost like to me it looked steampunky. Like it looked a lot more janky than the Wonder Waff, and it was
yeah.
like they managed to take the same setting and turn it into their own thing, and I really appreciated that. But then they just ruined it by started talking about like, oh yeah, like there's these gods that are controlling everything that make zombies and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, I want it to be about like an experiment went wrong or something like that. That's what
Yeah.
story I've been wanting for a long time. They did that with World at War, and then they just like changed it in Black Ops 3, and I was like, man. So
Um, and then just for new listeners or viewers, what is your all-time favorite?
I mean, I would say like World at War is probably my favorite. Black Ops 2 is pretty high up there. Um, but
You just have to pick an all-time favorite.
World at War is because I mean I'm very nostalgic about that one.
Yeah.
Um, Black Ops 2, like I think it's between World at War and Black Ops 2 because Black Ops 2 at least was like I think that game, um, like a lot of the technology was really cool to me. It was like you kind of got to see like it was the closest
Yeah.
thing we got to a future
I
setting
like that
without it being
initial pistol that you have, the automatic one. It looks so cool.
well. So yeah, there's the talking about the BT3R, the one where it's like the burst,
No, not the burst.
the Cap
That just
40.
looks like a. It's like tan.
Yeah, the Cap 40. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
like
thing's
the
a
way
piece
that
of
gun
crap.
looks. It is, but it looks so cool. Like futuristic wise, like that. That looks so.
Well,
It looks like It looks like Judge Dredd would use that. Like
I know you used to love the Executioner. That was that shotgun
that
pistol.
big ass shotgun pistol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. So
fun.
I think
I
I
like the
think
way it sounds.
the technology in that game also had its very like or also had a very like rugged style. Like all the robots are they're covered in camo and they're like doom, doom, doom.
They were
Like
right about all the drone shit.
to an
The
extent,
drone
yeah. They
porn
are
stuff.
they so they have drones, but they aren't quite as like they don't
Yeah.
swarm like they do in that game. Um, but I think
We
the
have a lot of
idea
questions, so we should move on. But
the hunter killer stuff is what I think would be really crazy to see because they have
yeah,
like the swarms where they go around the whole map. Like that'd be
yeah.
scary.
I
Yeah,
have I mean those drone shows you see, like if one of those went wrong, like that would be honestly kind of scary.
they've gone
Um,
wrong before, I think.
like if somebody like hacked it and was like attack the people, it's just like they're like dive bombing it. That would be terrifying. That's like a movie waiting to happen. Um, my all-time favorite is the OG Modern Warfare 2. I say that every time. 2009. That was peak Call of Duty for me. I was in 2009. What is that? I was in like 8th grade going into freshman year, I think. Right? Whatever. Anyways, around that
I'm
time,
not, I'm
like
not doing that math for you.
also a pivotal, I know. It was also a pivotal time in my life. But like right at that coming of age. But I think the most underrated Call of Duty is Infinite Warfare. I think it gets such a bad rap.
Oh, that's fair.
The
That's
campaign is
fair.
so good, and like actually has like a really like sad ending. The zombies is a blast. At least the first two maps, like Raven the Redwoods and Zombies in Spaceland. And the multiplayer, it took some risks. I don't think they paid off, but it's still one of the most unique feeling Call of Duty experiences, you know? And I think I don't understand how I think people were just like, we want boots on the ground. They did too many like non-boots on the ground games in a row. Like there should have been like boots on the ground gaps in there. And then maybe people would have liked it more because it would have felt fresh and not repetitive in that sense. But next, Taylor Miller says, Derek, what's my favorite thing to do with Theo? Something that we bond over? I mean, obviously watching movies, like that's always fun to like introduce him to movies that I liked growing up and stuff. That's a blast. Going to the movies is great. But honestly, just like trying anything with him that's new for him. It could be trying food, a restaurant, um, going to an amusement park. Like really, it's like it's kind of cliche, but like just spending time with him and creating memories. You know, like in general, that's. But I think the thing that I like bonding over the most is movies, because like I get to explain to him like, you know, somebody like wrote a story and then they turned it into this, and he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, if you really wanted to, you could make your own story, and then somebody else could draw it and like turn it into a cartoon. And he's just like, it's cool, you know. And it's just like, as a kid, you don't think about that kind of stuff, you know. You don't think about like, where does TV come from? And so it's fun seeing him realize that and like exposing him to like different forms of stuff. And then the second question Taylor had was, Chris, do you watch anime? And if so, what's your favorite one?
No.
He doesn't have a favorite one. I knew he was gonna say no. So, and then last, this is definitely for me. Cal, who is a fellow filmmaker and an associate producer in the Patreon, says, this is directed towards me. He says, okay, scenario. You're receiving funding to create your first feature film. Would you prefer funding from a big Hollywood studio with a larger budget, more resources, which will make you more noticeable in the film industry faster, even though there may be limitations on how your film is made? Or would you rather pursue the independent route and secure funding from smaller studios? You have full control over how the film will be made from start to finish. You have a smaller budget, less time for shooting, which may result in a longer time to get noticed. Which one are you considering? Doesn't have to be no or yes answer. Feel free to discuss. So, obviously, it like the way that I think is like, okay, I could have like in this perfect scenario, a studio could go, hey, here's this, you know, $10 million, make a movie, and I'm probably gonna get like, I don't know, 250 to 500K of that for directing the film and for like buying my script. And I can take half of that and use it as seed money to make another film that is not involved with studios and has private investors, and still make my own independent film where I have full control. But I think what I'm going to go with is the second option, because that's literally what I'm doing. I'm going the independent route. I have 3 producers that I've spoken to who have interest in my first feature film, which is the Coast Guard one. They really like the message and that it's different, and it's like if you want to make a drama today, they're saying you got to go the independent route, because studios just don't really take chances on dramas unless it's an Oscar film and it has like big ass actors. So you kind of have to go the independent route either way. But that's what I'm doing. I'm literally going the independent route. I know I'm only going to have like 20 days to shoot my film. I know I'm only going to have a really limited budget. But at the same time, I had no goddamn clue what I was doing when I made Pollo Loco. I literally had never done any of it before except act. And even then, I had acted in student films that, let's be honest, that's not the real experience. You know what I mean? Like it's like playing a beta. You know what I mean? Like you don't get the full experience. Everything's very limited. Half the time you ask a question and they go, we don't have the budget for that. You don't have access to that. And so Pollo Loco was like, we have access to stuff. We have 4 days to shoot a 17-page script, which is great, honestly. Like the standard is like 5 pages a day, and we did a little less. We did like four and a quarter or something, which is pretty unheard of for a short film. And so like making a 26-minute film for $30,000 shows that I could technically make a feature for 120K no problem. It would just be a very, like limited thing. And so what I'm trying to do is make a feature that has like triple the cast and triple the locations for I think around 8 to 10 times the budget. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I mean, I am confident about that because if anything, Pollo Loco should have been a shit show based off of my experience and stuff. It should not have worked the way it did. But I think the cast and crew trusted me, and I think they will even more now that I have 42 wins and 15 nominations under my belt, and I've done a film that had a $30,000 budget, which not a lot of people get to. Like that is like I'm already in the territory where like people just don't get the opportunity to do that, and I don't take that for granted. But I also, invested in myself and made sure that hopefully with the views that it gets on YouTube, this film is something I can use as a calling card. Like if I can get at least 100,000 views on YouTube, like a producer will look at that and be like, if 10,000 people, which is 10% of that, bought a ticket or rented it on, whatever, like we're already making a big chunk back. So yeah, there's my discussion on that. But very interesting question. But yeah, I think anybody would go, yeah, I'll take the more money, because even if like I don't get to make what I want, the next film after that I will get to. Um, but I am doing the second option, like literally. So I feel like my heart goes with the second option. And you said it wasn't a yes or no. It didn't have to be a yes or no answer. So I think that should suffice. All right, rumor. Done with Patreon questions. Rumor. There is apparently a four-door Mustang in development that is not the Mach-E. We're talking about a sedan.
I honestly don't care.
Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that like do you feel the same way about like the Mustang Mach-E, where it's like that's not a real Mustang because a real Mustang only has two doors. It's a pony car. I've talked to my wife. I was like, if they come out with that, like, should I trade mine in and get that so that we can, have more room for the kids? And she's like, no. And I was like, wow, really? She's like, it just wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't be the same thing. And I'm like, okay. I mean, she's like, we have a family car, but just pay off the one you have and just keep that as your baby. And I'm like, all right, fair enough.
I'll continue to drive my little Mustang. Your Mustang, little Fiesta in the meantime.
Yeah.
I love my Fiesta, dude. I don't need a Mustang at all. I feel like that thing goes, bro. It's a little egg car.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, let me know in the comments. There's been some interesting renderings, and I think some of them look fine. A lot of them have like they look like Tesla doors where they're
I was
like
gonna say
flushed
it's
with
probably like a Tesla. I don't know, but Tesla's stuff also isn't really all that like.
I've noticed a lot of vehicles though, like the newer vehicles are going with the flushed handle, which I don't like. Like, because then you can see like the cutout, and it's like, why not just have like a handle that you can actually grab instead you have to push on it, pull it out? Or the Mustang Mach-E, you literally have to put your thumb on like it's almost like a thumbprint without a thumbprint. Like you put your thumb on it and then the door just pops out. I hate that.
Well,
because what happens if the car's dead? You can't get in.
I assume it's like a aerodynamics thing, right? That's why they do that.
Oh yeah, we get 0.2% more fuel economy from not having doors on the side, door handles on the side.
Dude,
that's like the no mirrors thing.
I mean, every bit counts, man. You know what I mean? Like
you're gonna get an extra 0.1 miles per gallon. It's not worth not having door handles you can grip.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it's all about looks.
Some people.
I don't think the efficiency of it outweighs the look. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely about the looks.
I don't know. I think that there might actually be like a tangible benefit to it. Yeah, I mean, it does say that it helps prevent drag. I just don't see by how much. I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, I've seen Elon Musk talk about how like eliminating mirrors from like what was it, the Cybertruck or not the Cybertruck, one of the cars. He was like, we're getting rid of the mirrors because it gives you like an extra 1%
Probably the
fuel economy.
Roadster or something, dude.
Yeah, but it's like if you're spending that much money on a car, do you really care about how much fuel economy you're getting at
Well,
that
with
point?
with EVs,
That's what people say
yes.
about muscle cars.
With EVs, yes, because with those, every bit of range you can get is a huge deal. Because if you're only getting, 300 miles per charge,
Yeah.
and the next charger is, you know, maybe 290 miles away, you're like, I'm really
Ugh.
cutting it close. Like,
I've heard people say like range anxiety is like a new term for those cars. Like
yeah,
like people literally getting anxiety about the fact that they might not make it to the next charging
yeah,
station.
and then that's without talking
That's so
about,
embarrassing.
dude, the
If you
amount of the
hung
amount of
out.
time it takes to charge as well.
Well, I thought about making it a topic, but did you hear about like I think Japan or whatever? They put solid state batteries into some EVs and like they work great.
Those exist?
Yeah.
Since when?
So they don't since now they don't they literally don't have liquid ions electrons in them or whatever. They're not liquid ion batteries, they're solid state, so they charge way faster. And I think the one that they tested had like a 400 or a 600-mile range or some crazy shit. And so people are like, now we're talking. Like if we can get that in like,
Oh, it literally says solid state batteries are finally making their way out of the lab.
yeah.
Wow.
So in 10 years we'll have electric cars that actually have like the range of like hybrids,
Wow, dude.
and they actually will charge in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like 10 minutes would be nice. I would be okay with waiting 10 minutes. But waiting a half hour just to get like 60% or some shit is awful. Like come
Yeah.
on, man. Like going on a road trip in an EV sounds like so boring. You better stop at a Bucky's or something where you can
Bucky's?
browse the aisles.
Dude, okay, you know what they call Bucky's at work?
Bussies?
Yeah, bussies.
Yeah. All right, but we can move on to the next topic. Conspiracy corner this week. I was looking for something different. Have you heard of the dark forest theory?
So I didn't know what it was called, and then when I actually read the description for it, I was like, oh, okay. Um, so I'll go ahead and explain it. So it's the idea that we aren't getting into contact with like extraterrestrial life because they don't want to talk to anyone out of fear of being like attacked by a predator, basically, like by
Yeah,
a much more powerful civilization or whatever, right?
yeah,
It's just like you would expect in, like, if you were like an animal in a dark
yeah.
forest, you don't want to get killed by whatever's out there, like a bear or whatever, right? So you're gonna shut up. Um,
Basically, like if you were to right now go into like some woods or a forest, you do not realize how many animals and things are around you because they're all hiding and staying quiet because they see you as a predator. And so that's the same kind of concept with this, is that like even if we're putting out radio signals and telling people, hey, we're here, like, hey, what's up, anybody out there, booty call, like anything like that, like they're not like we might not be getting answers because they're all like. And I think this kind of plays into like the three body problem, because that's like a similar situation where like basically like an alien civilization is like, yo, shut the hell up, because like if somebody else hears this, they're gonna come wreck your planet. And so that's the theory, is that like we're not hearing stuff because they're purposely not responding, which is scary.
I mean, I don't think that's it.
What was the other one we talked about? It's called like the intergalactic zoo theory, where it's like aliens come through here because they're like, oh, look at the
Oh, that's
animals.
that's what Joe Rogan always says. He's like, we're like
Yeah.
the Tijuana of like the Milky Way or whatever. Where
Yeah,
it's like,
people come through here and they're like, look at these crazy people getting drunk and
yeah. Um,
crashing into each other.
I don't know. I mean, because I do feel like there is a chance that that's true. The whole, like, most aliens are just quiet because they don't want to be heard. But like,
It makes sense.
there's also, I mean, there has to be at least one civilization out there that's within the range that we've put stuff out into. That's gonna
Statistically, right?
that's gonna be like yo, hey, what's up? Like, or someone might be like, yo, shut up. Like,
Yeah, which
be
is three
quiet.
body problem.
Which I haven't seen more than one
It's
episode of that.
trippy.
I watched the first episode. I was like, I didn't
It
finish
starts out
watching it.
slow.
Yeah.
There's a
Um.
lot of time jumping,
Oh,
but
I
it's
don't want.
good.
I don't want to watch that then. If it's gonna be
It
time
it
jumpy.
it it, it leads to some mind blowing stuff for sure.
Um.
And they're only doing 3 seasons of that. They said.
But
So,
yeah, I don't know. I think what's more likely is that it's just really hard to create life like that. I think it's
yeah.
just
Well,
I think there's just not a lot of life out there. It's just life is rare.
have you read The War of the Worlds, like H.G. Wells' book?
No, I don't read.
A really good book. But anyways, like the whole thing in that one is that there's life on Mars. But and keep in mind, this is like 1800s, so we don't even have the ability to like communicate with them. But it's like the Martians are literally on Mars, like watching us. Like, look at these lucky motherfuckers. They have a planet with like all the shit that we need, and like and so they literally just like start planning to like attack us and take our planet, like just watching us from
Dude,
Mars.
isn't it crazy that they didn't know what was on Mars until recently?
Yeah, did you just see that they said that they found like water under the surface or some shit?
They say that every freaking 3 weeks. I swear to God, it means nothing.
No, but no, they're saying like they would be able to create a base and like it's literally like for all mankind.
Okay, then why don't they do it?
They're talking about doing it. That's
Yeah,
what they're talking
they're,
about
they're gonna
now.
keep talking about doing it for the next 17 years, and then Elon Musk is finally gonna be like, guys, we made it, and then
I
they're
just,
gonna die on Mars. Like, I don't think anything's gonna
I
happen
think it's
from it.
crazy that nobody's talking about how there's like astronauts stuck in space right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're stuck on
How
the
many are
I.
there?
I think they're stuck on the ISS, but still.
They were only supposed to be there for like a week.
Yeah. Now they're gonna be there until the end of like the year, I think.
Like 2/3 of a year total or something like that.
Yeah. That's gonna suck.
That's that. Imagine how like ruined your plans are. You're like,
And
yeah, I'm gonna go to space for like a week, and then I'm gonna come back. We're gonna go to Disney World. I'm gonna marry my fiance. All this shit.
well, I think a lot of them are a lot of the astronauts that actually like do that stuff. They're already at that point in life where they're like, what's a couple more weeks in space, you know? Um,
Yeah, but
I mean,
8 months.
it would suck if your kid
God
graduated or
damn.
something,
Yeah,
but
no, like
um,
I feel like you would feel like life's going on Earth without you for 8 months.
but I mean, what a surprise that it was Boeing that jacked it up.
Dude, I don't know how Boeing isn't like why isn't the government going after them? Or are they?
I think they are, but there's only so much you can do.
They are causing so much like issues, death, and destruction with all their nonsense, like because they're cutting corners. Like this is the problem with what is it? Capitalism or whatever. Like because everything's fueled by freaking business and money, and so like that's like the main
This is the
the
problem
main
with like
drive.
what is it? Capitalism?
No, no, no. You know what I'm talking about? Like big business and all that stuff. Like everything is driven by profits. Like it's like the food industry.
Yeah.
Like who cares if everybody gets cancer
Well,
from
that's the
freaking
thing.
crap cheese in 30 years because we're gonna make all this
That's
money because it's plastic and
that's
then we can
what
make it so cheap.
I don't understand is that
Bastard.
at a certain point you got to be like, yeah, like we're already making a ton of money and we have the same amount of
Yeah.
employees or we have more employees than we had before, but we have this dude all the way at the top that's making 10 mil a year, right? Like, dude, at what point do you really need
There's
10
no
million a
answer.
year? Like
There's no answer to make
at,
everything
at
better,
two
you
at,
know?
at $2 million, right? I say this all the time. At $2 million, you put that in the bank, you make 100K a year off the interest, right? You can live off that and still have money left over to put in the bank, right?
That's cute. 2 million. These people, they'd be like, "Oh shit, my yacht. Somebody just
Yeah.
got a new yacht. Mine looks old in comparison.
What is
Time to
wrong with
sell
these
and get another
people,
one
man?
that's worth twice as much."
Why would you need anything more than 2 million if you're a sane person? I just don't
I need
get
a
it.
raise. But sir, if you get another raise, we'll have to fire 300 people. Fuck
Oh
'em.
well, yeah. That's how Bungie is, bro. Freaking Bungie. The guy
Eh,
straight up
eh,
bought, dude. The
just
CEO.
replace them with
I
AI.
think the CEO of Bungie straight up bought a Lamborghini right when everyone was being laid off. It's so messed up, bro.
I mean, I guess it comes down to the same thing that I keep hearing brought up all the time is like, you remember cigarettes? How long it took for them
And
to admit, how long it took for them to admit that cigarettes
and
cause all these issues?
and people
What
still
else
smoke
is gonna be like
cigarettes.
that? Yeah. But like, what is gonna be the next cigarettes? You know, is it gonna be like I am very curious, and this sucks to even think about because I will be screwed. If cell phones actually do cause cancer in some way, like everybody's gonna have like leg cancer because they're gonna get freaking cancer on whatever side of their body they had their phone in their pocket, you know, every day for freaking 40 years or whatever. Um, I don't
I
know.
don't
You
think.
don't know.
Well, so
There's not enough studies, not enough data to know like certain things, like if they're bad for you or not. I mean, same thing with like chemicals they use in foods. They ban one thing, it gets replaced with something else that's supposed to be safe, and then they found out, oh, actually, long term, it's not.
so I don't know, cause like people talk about like microwaves, right? And it's
Hmm.
like the fear people always have is, oh, if you stand next to a microwave, you get cancer or whatever, or like if you have it open. And really, what it is, all that microwaves do is they just heat up
I will
water.
admit, when the microwave dings and I open it right away, I'm like, oh, should I have not done that? Is there still microwaves bouncing around in
And
there? And
and
I
you
opened it and they just went into my face.
even if they did, all it did was raise the temperature of whatever part of the body they hit by like a fraction of a degree. Like
You
it's,
just look from the microwave and your face is all red.
yeah, you're boiling. Um, but but yeah, no, and
All all for a hungry meal.
I think
Hungry man.
with like 5G or whatever, like a good portion of that is in the same frequency as like your Wi-Fi or your microwave or whatever. I think microwaves run at 2.4 gigahertz or
Yeah, and
something
I
like
mean,
that.
I remember when the 5G towers started
And
popping up, people were like talking about, oh, they're finding dead birds near them, but I think that was proven wrong.
yeah, and
I
that
think they
was
said it was just. I think they said one of the issues is actually they make these towers look like trees, and so the birds try to land on them, and they're like jagged, and they freaking run into them and stuff. So
I think that was around the same time as all the Rona stuff too, right?
yeah,
So
so people are like, oh, it's the 5G towers that are causing Rona, and I'm like, come on now with this shit, man. That's not how the body works.
yeah, bottom line, we got into a completely different rabbit hole, but I don't think that phones cause cancer, so I think we're all good.
No, no. But anyways, the dark forest theory, I think that's an interesting one to think about, you know. It's like one of those things to like stare at the ceiling at night and be like, are there aliens all around us? They're just not saying anything because they're afraid the bigger, meaner aliens are gonna come conquer their planet if they say anything. That's scary to think about. But anyways, on to this week's serious news story. Nothing's. I didn't really see any news stories this week where I was like, "Oh man, that's crazy. We need to talk about that." So I've got some like social media stuff. Um, I've got three things. One of them's not even listed, okay, but they're all gonna be brief. First off, I saw our boy World of T-shirts who we talked about last episode. He posted yesterday that he got approved for his first Chase credit card.
Bro's gonna buy so much
I know. I
alcohol.
was like, no, I was like, bro's literally about to find, and he's like all stating like all the benefits. He's like, I get 1% cash back on everything, and I get 3% on restaurants and dining. And I'm like, bro is going to find out what an APR is real quick, man. He's gonna max out his first credit card and then be all confused when he gets a bill and it's like 22% interest. I
Jesus.
really hope somebody like I really hope Mr. Based at least like helps him understand like credit cards aren't like debit cards where you can just like ring things up and like deal with it down the road. Like it the interest rate on credit cards is the reason why people demonize them so much because it's like it's literally like highway robbery. For every $100 that you borrow, they're gonna charge you 22 bucks if you don't pay it within a month. So like if Rose spends a couple grand, he's gonna be like having to cough up a couple $100 like real quick that he probably doesn't have if he's using a credit card that much, you know? I just hope it's not like, oh, I'm gonna use my credit card to like fly to Dubai and go on a booze cruise and not realize like, hey, dude, you got to pay for it, you know,
Yeah.
or else it's gonna like ruin you financially. Or it's gonna be filing for bankruptcy in a year, you know. Like, I hope not. And the other thing I hope is he isn't like, oh, I maxed out this credit card, so I'm just gonna get more, because it is so easy to get approved for a credit card.
Well, here's the thing, right? So, I think after a certain amount of time, whatever debt you have from like a loan or from a credit card just goes away, right?
No.
For a loan, I think, maybe not for a credit card.
They will sell your debt to a billing collector, and those billing collectors will ruin your credit score. They will harass you trying to get you to pay the money. Meanwhile, the money is still accruing 22% interest.
You know what he's gonna have to do?
And it's compounding.
He's gonna just have to like flee the country.
But bro, I mean, you ever hear these stories where somebody's like, I had $30,000 in credit card debt? It usually started out as like 6, but then they just couldn't pay it, and they just ignored it because they're like, if I just ignore it, maybe it'll go away. And it's like, no, your credit card debt literally compounded, and 22%
Is a
and I think
lot.
some are as high as like 28. Like compounding, bro. Like, if you ever heard like the thing where it's like, oh, like, would you rather have $1 million right now,
Or
or
a dollar
I'll double
every day.
Yeah, a penny today, and I'll double it every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
And when you get to the end of the 30 days, it's like $10 million. Like, that's the power of compound interest. And we're talking about like a fifth of that or whatever, because it's 20%. You know what I mean? So like that compounds like over a year. Like, holy shit, bro.
Poor guy.
Like $1,000 will turn into like 20 real quick if you ignore it for that long. So I hope that doesn't happen. But it's just one of those things where it's like I said, it's like a car crash that you can't look away from. I hope he gets help,
I,
but he doesn't seem to want help. So
man, this makes me sad.
yeah. Well, meanwhile, Mr. Based will live stream everything. And so that includes like the weird stuff. Like they went to a McDonald's and he's like, tell them to put the fries in the bag. Right. And so Josh is like, put the fries in the bag. And the guy's like, huh? The guy like doesn't know English.
Huh?
Like, yeah. But then he like he was like, oh, we didn't get the response we wanted. So then Josh goes, and I saw the TikTok. He literally like the bag is on the counter before he grabs it, and he's just like, put the fries in the bag, and everybody in the restaurant just goes, boo! Like, an asshole. Yeah. And so that's his new favorite thing, though, because they'll be like live streaming in Mr. Base's apartment, and literally somebody will be like, they have the text to speech as like Morgan Freeman's voice, so it'd be
Oh
like,
my
Josh,
god.
you need to get a job, Josh. Put the fries in the bag, Josh. And he'd be like, you put the fries in the bag. I make more money than you. I make $5,000 a month. I don't work at McDonald's. And Mr. Bass is like, yeah, put the fucking fries in the bag. And he'd be like, yeah, or the burger. And it's just like, Josh has
Or
no
the
idea.
burger.
He has no idea what the joke is, you know? Like he thinks that it's directly like tied to McDonald's. Like it's saying like, oh, you work at McDonald's. Where the actual point of the joke is like, I'm better than you, and like just put my fries in my bag so I can get on with my day, you loser.
Yeah.
You know? It just doesn't fully connect there. And I don't think it does. I think it does for Mr. Bass to an extent from what he said. Anyways, Josh and Mr. Bass are live streaming in an Uber, and Josh is like, there's no way you have 40,000 viewers right now. I think you got botted. And he's like, no. He's like, you could tell he got caught. He's like, you put out that TikTok and it got like 1 million views. You don't think these are real people? And it's like, bro, there's no way there's 40,000 actual people watching this loser, Mr. Based. There's no way. It's really weird, man. It's like watching. It's almost like watching. I don't know. Like it's
like Ice Poseidon, bro.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like a great white shark?
Oh, it's like watching a nature documentary. Yeah.
And it's literally like the great white shark is swimming along, and there's one of those little parasitic fish underneath it that's just eating the scraps. That is
Yeah.
Mr. Bass, that little fucking fish.
Jesus
Like if
Christ.
the shark turns too quick, it panics for a second to get back under it. You know what I mean? Like that is Mr. Bass.
Jesus Christ.
That was that moment when he called him out for the 40,000 viewers. He panicked and had to get back under it.
I'm so shocked at the fact that he got booed out of McDonald's, bro.
Yeah,
Boo!
he was so loud. And like because it was like a new joke and it was like starting to click what the joke was, he was like so proud of it. You know, he's like smiling. He's like, "Put the fries in the bag," and everybody's like. The last thing I wanted to talk about is you know who the Costco guys are?
Yeah.
Did you see the video that came out?
That's pretty vague. What video you're talking about?
So he's getting they are getting a ton. Specifically, the dad is getting a ton of hate right now because somebody recorded them making a video with Jay Kinda Funny. There's like a TikToker who I think has like a good amount of followers. Let me look him up so I can see. Like the Costco guys have like they have like 1.5 million. Let's say that, okay?
Jay Kind of Funny has 26.8 mil. That's who that is. Okay, I know who that is.
Holy shit. Yeah, okay, so AJ and Big Justice have 1.8 million. So we're talking about they have like literally like a tenth of what Jay Kind of Funny has. And they're making a video at Costco where he has to choose which one gets the boom and which one gets the doom. And it's the chicken bake or the double chunk chocolate cookie, right? And the dad goes full on like David O. Russell, like Stanley Kubrick director mode, and is like, no, you say this and I say that. No, don't take my line. No, you first you take the bite and then you do and like he's not being aggressive and not like yelling at them, but it's very uncomfortable and it feels like holy shit, like this is what he does every video. It's like
the double chunk chocolate cookie.
It makes me feel bad for the kids that are in his videos.
Yeah.
Because like anytime they try to do anything like on their own or creative or like say something, he's like, no, that's my line. Don't take my line. You know, like he's trying really hard to make sure it's like split down the middle and the kids don't take over. You know? And if you watch it, it is so uncomfortable. And the Jake Kind of Funny guy keeps making these faces like fuck, what did I get myself into? And then Jake Kind of Funny made some videos with them where they're in like Walmart and they're like going up to people like, which one do you want? Do you want the chicken bake or the double chunk chocolate cookie? Right? And like most of the Walmart employees will just be like, I'm working, like fuck off, right? Like they're just like, this is nonsense. And it's the most uncomfortable, weird shit. And it's like, okay, that's where it crosses the line for me.
When you start involving random people, yeah.
When you start recording people without permission and like putting them in awkward, uncomfortable positions while they're trying to do their job, that is crossing a line. Now you are in territory where it's like we are being a nuisance to other people for the sake of views. I will do vlogs and things like that where you'll see random people in the background and stuff. But I'm never like recording somebody and zooming in like, oh my gosh, look at this person over here doing this. You know what I mean? Like that's rude. That like, anyways, he addressed it on their podcast because they have a podcast now.
Oh Jesus.
And he was like, so some people are a little upset, this and that. I was directing the video blog. I'm like, okay, as a director of short films, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm freaking Stanley Kubrick, but as a director. That is not directing. That's being an asshole. Okay? You can invite like when I make videos with Jorge and Giancarlo, I'll be like, I can edit that this way, but I don't know if you want me to do it that way. Do you want to say something else or do you want to like start it a different way? And they'd be like, yeah, that sounds good and we'll do that. But I'm never like, you have to say this. Stick to the script. No, I'm saying that. No, you got to do this and then do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, no. Okay, no. John, so-and-so's in the video. Let him go first.
Not to mention,
no. You know what I mean?
Like, it's not like their videos are like these masterpieces. It doesn't matter exactly how it goes down. It's just you're trying to get the point across. I don't get that.
My videos are staged, okay? And when I mean by when I mean staged, I mean we said, okay, we're gonna make a video about this, and let's film it over here.
Yeah.
And then we just ad lib. These videos are what I would call scripted.
Yeah.
And that means like if you stray away from the script, it ruins the plan. And like, oh shit, now how do I edit around that? It sometimes Steele will say something and I'm like, that is hilarious, that's going in the video. From what it looked like with this, it was like, no, if you say it that way, I'm not using that. You got to say it this way. And that is like I said, that is not being a director. AJ is a collaborative thing. You let other people have a creative input. Otherwise, you are telling people what to do, and that's more of like a dictatorship, homie. Like I said, if you were actually on a set, and I heard people say, "Oh, you think these movies and stuff they don't act like that? Like you think they just naturally get a performance?" And it's like,
sometimes they do.
I see what you're saying, but every set that I've been on, it's best idea wins. And with this, it seems like it's my way or the highway. You know what I mean? And if it's my way or the highway, that's a dictatorship. And on a set, I would call that being an asshole. So, anyways, that's all I have to say about it. I also really don't like the fact that it's like a little side note to end this topic because it's an awkward thing. But Theo was in my videos a lot when he didn't have school and everything was locked down and we literally had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? As soon as Theo started school, he was in the videos less and less and less. And I would say now he's probably in a quarter of them at most. You know? And these kids are in every fucking video that he makes. And to me, that makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, what kind of, like, if that's how we saw one behind the scenes video, what else is going on behind the scenes that we don't see? You know what I mean? That's where it gets into that weird family channel controversy territory. And like I've thought about it before. I told Bobby, I'm like, this makes me feel like it's gonna become a stigma because it already kind of is. But am I gonna be like doing an interview for a movie that I made and somebody's gonna bring up the fact that I used to put my kids in my videos? And you know what she said? She said that's different. That you could say the same thing about putting kids in TV shows and movies and all that shit. But what he's doing is like it feels like a really overly staged scripted reality show where the kids are always in it and they got the Rizzler, which is somebody else's kid.
Yeah.
Who is making it like the I don't know if do you realize that like Riz is supposed to be about like how attractive you are and your ability to attract whoever it is that you're trying to attract? He's a 7-year-old kid. That is weird, man. We're talking about like Dr. Disrespect territory here. You know what I mean? They did one video with Jake Kinda Funny where his like girlfriend, who I don't know if she's an OnlyFans model or if she's an athlete or whatever, but she always dresses really scantily, right? And they had a staged video where I mean, everybody who watches AJ's Jake Kinda Funny's videos knows that that's like his girl or whatever. But they go up with the kids, and Jake Kinda Funny's like, he thinks you're pretty, and it's the Rizzler, right? And he's all,
I think I've seen that one.
you know, yeah. And she's like, oh, you're so cute. Maybe if you were older.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've seen that one. Yeah.
oh fuck!
Yeah.
What are we watching?
Yeah.
Thought this is a good idea. The only saving grace is the fact that it's not a random woman.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I'll tell you right now, I would never, in a million years, make something like that with my children. No matter how funny it is, no matter what kind of views you're gonna get, that is wrong.
I will say, so that guy's videos, he said it's Jay Kinda Funny. I didn't know his name until I've seen his face and I've seen his videos, but I never knew his name until now. That guy,
he's one of those guys who films in public all the time. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
So like
Funny,
it's like it was funny the first like 2 times where he was throwing pillows over shelves and stuff like that. But that's all that guy does. It's just the same crap over and over again. Not that I made anything good when I was still making TikToks and stuff like that. Okay, but
yeah.
like I'm like anytime I see that guy's videos, I'm like,
but yeah,
whatever happens here, I'm just gonna skip. I don't want to see this. It's
But
I'm not a
I
fan of that guy's stuff.
understand. I understand that the like chicken bake or Costco guys and double chunk chocolate cookie is very similar to we're gonna try this week's crumble cookie menu. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. Cookie butter lava. Like it's very similar, but if you go back and look, like I mean, we did it pretty much cookie cutter style until a certain point where we got tired of it and we started changing it or just not doing it in general. These guys are milking that shit to the last drop, and I wonder. I don't ever pray for anybody's downfall, but I just wonder what the long term strategy is there for them. You know, I mean, I see the podcast and stuff, but what happens when Big Justice gets a driver's license and wants to like be a normal fucking teenager? Like, is that gonna be a problem for AJ, for Big AJ or whatever his name is? Like how's he gonna make videos without Big Justice? You know?
Yeah, and I mean, and truth be told, like with TikTok being the way that it is, I'm also not even sure if they will be able to continue making videos. If
Well, yeah.
so,
Well, I just put it this way: if they were to come out with a law and say it is now illegal to post videos on social media from that are filmed in public without other people's permission, Jay Kind of Funny is fucked. All this
oh
stuff
yeah,
would violate that. And I would say up until now, like AJ and Big Justice were okay, but like the fact that they even strayed into that territory tells me that like their morals are questionable, and like wherever they draw the line at like that's okay to make content about, it's kind of in a gray area now.
how did these collabs even happen, dude?
They blew up, so everybody's willing to collab with them. That would be like if we started doing crumble cookie reviews with other people, and I just never. I'm never going to put my kid in a position where he has to make videos with strangers.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just weird to me.
Yeah, random thing on the topic of the crumble cookie thing, dude. I think it's so funny. We're like, I can't try it because I'm keto.
Yeah. Because I'm keto. And everybody's like, the comments are hilarious. People are like, why can't he try it? People are like, I don't know what it is, but something's telling me this guy's keto.
You want to talk about our movie recommendations? for the
Yeah,
week?
yeah. And that turned into a rant, but I'm just like, I feel like
Oh no, he's gonna
like-
go again.
no, the last thing I promise, the last thing, it's people like this that make me feel like they make a bad rap for us in general.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like people can go ahead and say like, oh, you're just mad because like they're bigger, they're getting more views than you and all that shit. Bro, we've been doing this for almost 5 years, man. Like if it was about views, I
Yeah.
would have stopped a long time ago. I hope those kids are okay. I hope their living situation isn't like 24/7. Let's make a video. You know what I mean? Like, cause I've found myself in a position where I'm like, we need to make a video, and we're gonna go out to dinner. I can either make a video about that or find something else to make a video about, so we can just have dinner as a family. And I feel like every single one of their videos is food related. So I bet you they very rarely have a meal where it's not discussed whether they should turn it into a video and all that stuff.
Dad,
You know, and that's
Dad, can we have
Eat-
broccoli today? No, we're gonna have a double chunk chocolate cookie.
yeah. Now I see so many videos now where it's like, all right, Big Justice, like, let's. I saw one where the guy's like, if you don't say it the way I told you to, I'm gonna replace you. You don't think I can find another kid? He's like, I bet the Rizzler's got a brother or sister who could take your spot. Like Jesus, bro. The funny ones are when it's like, Dad, why are there needles back here?
Jesus.
And he's like, oh, we don't talk about that, okay?
Jeez. Okay.
Does this Uber ride get a boom or a
Chill.
All right,
it's
we need to wrap it up.
I'm gonna do my movie
Yeah.
recommendation really quick. So, I watched Ford v Ferrari over the weekend, and god dang, That
A
was
great fucking movie.
a phenomenal movie.
Sound
Phenomenal
design.
movie. I mean, and even just I feel like Matt Damon and um, Christian Bale, like great duo. I was
Yeah.
actually surprised. I was like,
It's
huh.
like Brad Pitt and Leo.
Yeah, I was like these guys work really well together. And
Yeah.
especially just because it was like it's a real story. It was like I was like, dang, like okay, I'm actually interested to see what happened now because
Carol Shelby. Yeah.
like I know these names, but I don't know. I've never understood why they're important. Now I get to figure that out. And so that was like it was a really cool story and just I mean I'll
Um,
be honest, like straight up afterwards I was like I need to go drive, and I went and drove around for a bit, and I ended up in some area that I was not supposed to be in. I was like
dude,
I gotta get out of here.
if you like that, you should watch Ferrari, the one with Adam Driver, because you see
Oh
like the other side of it. Yeah.
yeah, well because they made Ferrari seem like a jerk, bro.
I put I I put you in this car because you will win.
Well, like I don't know. I just love the scene in Ford v Ferrari where it's like Matt Damon like goes and picks up like I don't know if it was like a bolt or what. He just drops it on the ground and then walks away. And one of the dudes sees it and he's like, "Whoa, whoa!" He's like, "What? What
Yeah.
is this?" And then they're all freaking
Yeah.
out. They're like, "Did you freaking a bolt? What happened?" They're all just yelling at each other. And he's just like, "All right, well, they're gonna be mad at each other for a bit. It'll be fun." But
Yeah.
he's just messing with them. This is a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah. Ford v Ferrari is great. What is that on?
I watched it on Vudu,
Because
so
I have it. Yeah. But
yeah.
look
I
up what it's on while I talk about mine. So I saw a movie this past week by myself called Strange Darling because I heard so many people talking about it, and it's like an indie film with like no marketing. So like it really has to survive on word of mouth. The best way I could describe it is if Christopher Nolan made a serial killer movie, like a slasher serial killer movie, because it's in 6 chapters, right? But it's non-linear, so it'll start with like chapter 3, and then it'll go to like chapter 5, and then it'll go back to chapter 1, and like it's just all over the place, and you have to really like put the pieces together. Lots of twists and turns. Two amazing lead performances. I can't remember her name, but she plays she's the woman in Reacher, like the hot cop. She is the lead in it, and she blew me away with the performance. Kyle Gallagher, I think is his name. Always been a big fan of him. He's been blowing up in the horror scene for a long time now. Ever since like the first Nightmare on Elm Street reboot that he did. Um, he was really good in it. Really enjoyed his performance, but story wise and like the way the film's made, I was really impressed. It's one of the better sub $5 million movies I've seen in a long time. Go see it at the damn theater. Support this film. Uh, the guy who shot it is the guy who did the cinematography is from like Saving Private Ryan and shit. Like
Oh,
one of the actors. Like really random. I think he's in like he might be in Succession or something too. But I was like, what? That guy shot it? Well, it looked great. Cool. It's very simple. It inspired me like to not overthink things because they went about it so simply. It really relied on like the story to like hold everything together. And I definitely recommend it. I don't want to say anything else though because like there's so many twists and turns, and it's best to just go in blind. Yeah, go see that in theaters if you can. It's got a limited release, so it's not you can't see it everywhere. But you know, I'm in Albuquerque, which is a major city, so I was able to see it here. And then I have a really random thing because I find myself going back to this guy's YouTube channel. I want to recommend Scotty Kilmer. He's this old, kooky looking mechanic who makes videos that are about cars, and he recently has been doing a lot of videos where he just answers questions and talks about news topics. And so if you're somebody who's like interested in like the car market and like maybe you're thinking about buying a car, like whether it's used or new or whatever, his videos are a gold mine. He also does videos like about specific cars, like I watched him do a video about the engine that's in my car, and it was like really cool to learn about that, and then like compare it to the one that I have since it's like updated and they've made it even better. Um, and also, you know, like if you have any kind of like issues with your car, he'll show you how to fix it, and he'll also show you how to make sure it never happens again. It's just if even if you're not into cars and like you just want to make sure you don't have issues with your car, or you're thinking about getting a different car and you want to like steer yourself in the right direction and not make a bad decision, watch Scotty Kilmer. And he's got so many videos. It's insane to me. That guy pumps them out like crazy, and he just has a really. He seems like he'd be a really cool person to meet. I would love to grab a beer with this guy. Like I would love to have him on Creators Unite at some point and talk to him. Like he's like a genuinely good person, and like just cares about like people not getting ripped off. You know, that's the biggest thing.
Um,
So Scotty Kilmer.
Ford v Ferrari is on Hulu and Fubo and Sling and YouTube and Apple TV and Prime and Fandango. It's
Well, obviously it's on a bunch of those places, but I mean, like, what's the major streaming platform that has the rights? So if somebody has a
it's
subscription, they can just watch it.
it
Hulu?
says Hulu, but I think I tried to watch it on Hulu and then it brought me to Disney Plus and then I couldn't watch it.
Oh yeah, because they merged. Hulu and Disney Plus are like the same thing now.
Yeah, which is
Weird.
it's dumb because I have my Spotify subscription gives me Hulu and I couldn't use that subscription to watch Ford v Ferrari on Disney Plus and I was like, what the heck? So
Yeah. But yeah. So check out Strange Darling, Ford v Ferrari, and Scotty Kilmer. And thank you once again for watching. We're coming up on episode 50. We plan on having our boy Ben Escobar, aka Genie Boy, and Jorge on again together
it's
for
gonna
our
be a
big
great
50th
episode.
episode. It's gonna be a great episode. Might be 2 hours. We'll see.
This one's an hour and 40 minutes, bro.
Oh, is this a record? Anyways, get some G Fuel, get some Fit Butters. Use code DannyD for a discount on both of those, and join the Patreon. We have a blast in there, and I would love to meet and interact with you. Don't be afraid. It's really chill and like very welcoming in there. Just don't come in and act like a hooligan, and we'll be good. But yeah, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie. No.
Jesus Christ.